We have a video today about a lady from Sweden that take her bath into the water.
I saw this.
Yeah.
One of the friends, remember? 5 years ago, she had a Swedish boyfriend and she went there. She threw the water on the sky and then it turned to be ice.
Yeah?
Yes.
They like to do those kind of thing in Russia too, in Siberia.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, so we're gonna react to that.
Yes.
Happy? Reaction room, complete mess. Okay.
My name is Jonna, and I live in the north of Sweden.
Wow.
Wait, is that a real hair color?
I don't know, but this is what we were talking about earlier, right?
This look like in the movie, not real life.
This looked like a movie, in fact.
Sweden is a country with a lot of light.
Wow.
And it's also a country with a lot of darkness. It all depends on what season it is.
Wow, really nice.
Just like many other countries in the northern hemisphere, there is a strong contrast in the light conditions between summer and winter. In the winter, it's dark almost all the time.
Don't like
Oh,
it.
really? Oh my god. 2:19 in the afternoon and it's dark.
You dead witch. Die.
2:19 in the afternoon and it's dark
Oh my,
already.
don't like
But
it.
in Canada, it's not like this. In Canada, in the winter, it's going to be dark around maybe 4:30 p.m. So the day are shorter. So we have what we call like seasonal depression. It's a clinical term in Canada.
How about in like Vancouver, thing like that?
I'm not sure. I'm from Montreal. But I know that there's no day like this when it's going to be dark at 2 in Canada. Except if you are more north.
Alaska?
Yeah, maybe Alaska, but Alaska is not in Canada. It's more... But because in Canada, we mostly live near the U.S. border. And we have short day, but not like this. But I think the more you go north, you're going to have day like this. I think Norway is higher than much higher than Canada in terms of the position from the sun. So I think that's why.
Is this real snow?
Of course it will. What do you mean?
Compared to Canada, it's real.
What do you mean?
What? You love to say. He loved to say that you go to, don't say anything, you go to Japan, Korea, like, even like the UK, that fake snow.
Who said that?
And in the summer, it's light all the time.
Wow, this is too...
During the
way.
summer in the very north of Sweden,
Wow.
the sun never sets between the end of May until the middle
But
of
that
July.
must be very
So
difficult.
you can see the
Yeah.
sun 24 hours a day. And that is called the midnight sun.
Wow, that might be difficult for the brain, no? Those kind of temperature? Like,
Actually, we probably like it.
I'm not sure if I would like it. I don't know.
And then, during the winter in the very north of Sweden, it's the opposite. For a couple of weeks, the sun never rises above the horizon, which means that there is no sunlight for about a month.
This is
And that
apocalypse.
is called the polar night.
Apocalypse?
Yes.
Like you're gonna shoot a horror movie there or something?
Yes, you never see the sun. It's apocalypse. You cannot leave.
Yeah, but if you want, you can, like, every month you can go to a different place in Sweden or something.
These extreme contrasts in light is caused by the rotation of the
Whoa.
Earth in relation to the
Yeah, see, that's
position
what I
of the
told you
sun.
earlier.
And the further north you go, the bigger the contrast. I live in the middle north of Sweden, and if I'm lucky and it's a clear sky, I can see the sun above the treetops for about an hour during the darkest time of the year.
Wow.
It's the middle of the day, and this is how high the sun goes up now.
Wow.
It's just a little bit over the horizon, or over the trees.
It's a good
This
thing.
But
is
winters like
insane.
this one, when it's been cloudy every day, I actually didn't see a glimpse of the sun for over a month.
I'm very curious, especially back then, right? Like, for example, like 50 years ago, if you were cold like this, what food do you make? Is it difficult to find food?
I have no idea. I never thought about it.
But just a few days ago, now in the beginning of January, I got to feel the sun on my face again.
Wow.
This is the first glimpse of the sun that we see in over a month. Do you see this?
Actually, I would like living there.
And
because
that
it's really
feeling
peaceful.
when you
Why?
begin to feel the sunlight again in January
think I will die
is
in 3
always
days.
overwhelming. It's
Cannot
like
breathe.
seeing the sun for the first time in your life.
Your dog. You don't have anything to wear.
Even if it can be hard sometimes with these kinds of light conditions, I really love it and I would never want to change it. When it's summer, I usually change my rhythm and stay up all nights and then sleep in the forenoon instead.
This is a movie.
The light is so beautiful in the middle of the night, and as a filmmaker and photographer, it's like a dream to be out and capture the beauty of the bright nights of June.
2 a.m.
Wait.
What?
It really look like on the movie, the TV show that we watch. Oh my god, Thor. It really look like when they were up there.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow. I think now the wind you saw was like, it's called, in Canada we call it the frost.
And then in the winter, even if we don't get so much sunlight, we at least get a few hours of twilight during the day. And that light is the most beautiful kind of daylight that I know. It's like experiencing a long sunrise without a sun.
In the last hours
And
of
when
the
it's a
sun
clear
never
sky and the sun is rising just a tiny bit above the treetops, it spreads a soft and pink light all over the landscape. And that is beyond beautiful. Around 3 in the day, it's already getting dark, and it makes the evenings feel never-ending.
Wow, this is one of the best video I have ever seen in
But
my
the darkness makes us see what is never visible in the light. Because actually, we do get sunlight from thousands of suns far, far away. I live in a place where there's no light pollution, and the night sky is breathtaking. And for me, that is one of the reasons that I really love the winter here.
Okay, I've changed
And
my
now
mind.
and then, the
I changed my mind. I would live there. I'm sorry, I changed my mind. There's too much thing going on.
sun sends us a greeting in the darkness. Particles from storms on the surface of the sun comes traveling towards the earth, colliding with our
The whole story reminds me of the movie Princess Mononoke. The girl that lived with the wolf.
And her
all
voice.
And all of the nature that in that movie, I don't know why, the way she told the story reminded me of Hayao Miyazaki.
magnetic field and creating the aurora borealis, the
aurora!
northern lights that dances in the sky. I can never find the right words to describe how much I love to stand under the northern lights on a cold and dark winter night. I can take the darkness any day as long as I get to see the stars and the northern lights. It makes it all worth it.
Wait, this is for
But even
real?
though there is so much beauty to find in these special kinds of light conditions that we have here in the north, I would lie if I said that it's always easy to live and adapt to them, because it's not. Well, the summer is easy. I don't think you can have too much light. The only thing that people often ask me is if it's harder to sleep when it's light all night. And for me personally, if I want to sleep during the night, I have no problem with that. And for those who do feel like it's a problem, it's easily fixed with some thick and dark curtains.
I guess.
But the winter and the darkness is definitely much more challenging. And I can only speak from my own experience now. The lack of sunlight makes me more tired, and during the darkest and coldest months, between November and March, I sometimes struggle to keep the energy up.
Yes, and the term that I said earlier about seasonal depression in Canada, there's a term, a clinical term, when people get depressed in winter. And there's also, in North America, you have those jail when someone misbehaves in jail, they send him isolated into a small cell, but there's no light for him. So people can get insane and hallucinate things because it's dark or a little cell. Yeah.
In March, I sometimes struggle to keep the energy up. It's harder to get up in the morning when it's dark outside. Our body naturally want to wake up with the sun. And in the afternoon, I often get confused with the time, since the darkness makes it feel like it's much later than it actually is. And the lack of daylight makes me struggle more as a filmmaker, since I only have 1 hour of good light to film in a day,
can't imagine.
compared to the 24-hour of good light in the summer.
In Canada, someone in winter, it's so
So
hard
the darkness,
for her.
combined with the cold, make things a bit more challenging. and I know I'm not the only one struggling to keep up the energy during this time of the year.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What? No,
But of course, there's many things you can do to make the winters a little easier. I want to mention a few things that helps me adapt better to the lack of sunlight.
I guess she has
For
some
me
kind of special
personally,
light.
I think that the tiredness that I feel in the winter is the hardest part. The energy level is so low sometimes. And the cure to that is not always to sleep more. It can actually be to do the opposite.
Exactly.
So I try my best to keep being active and moving my body as much as I can. And get as much daylight as possible.
And I
I go-
agree, and from my own experience, oversleeping is the worst thing. In the morning, if there's a sun and you fail to wake up, and you wake up a few hours later, I think you're going to be tired. Undersleeping is actually much better in condition like this. Actually,
For long walks with my dog every day.
everything she's saying, I agree with.
And if the weather is good, I like to go out in the forest with my snowshoes and my camera, or go skiing. I also love to take ice baths. It's something I started doing a few
Well,
years
that's-
ago,
that's the
combined
real
with
ice
breathing
bath.
exercises, using the Wim Hof method. And it has become my favorite way of boosting myself with new energy when I need it the most.
Wow.
Going into that freezing water is actually the last thing that my body wants to do in that moment. But putting myself into that kind of discomfort is awakening something in me that helps me reset my body. Believe it or not, but cold swims and cold showers has many good health benefits. It's not for everyone, of course, and it's important to get knowledge before trying an ice bath if you have never done it before. But for me, it has been a great source of energy and joy during the winter time.
So to know
So
rain.
I really feel a
Wait, if it's snow, it's supposed to be ice already, right?
No, it depends on the temperature. It's going to freeze if it's below zero. So it depends on the temperature.
So, I really feel a big difference in my energy levels in the winter when I move my body in some way. It doesn't need to be a full workout, but just something, a little every day that
you
makes you
hear?
feel alive.
Well, I do take cold shower, but it's not my fault. It's because I live with Suji for 8 years in different house, and they never have hot water in the shower. So I always take cold water, but it's because I have no choice.
Talking about moving your body.
I know. Are you saying that I'm fat?
I'm fat.
Yes. No, 50 kilo fat. Yes, really?
When we can't get enough energy from the sun, I think it's even more important to make sure that we get enough energy and nutrition from our food. Nature has so much to give us in the summer that we can harvest and save for the winter when we need it the most.
This is a movie.
Yeah. Like Lisiki, the girl that used to be Chinese doing that on the...
Oh, yeah.
Remind me of that, yeah.
That's a
Here
hard
in the
word.
north we have plenty of berries in the forest, so I like to pick tons of blueberries and lingonberries
expensive!
and put in the freezer so that we can eat berries and drink juice from berries every single day during the whole winter.
In the forest.
I also like to pick different herbs that are good for our health and dry them to make my own tea for the winter.
What? She had everything.
One of my favorite teas to drink when it's cold and dark outside is simply made out of birch leaves.
Bird?
I pick them just as they begin to bloom in the spring, while they are still small and light green. And the tea smells and tastes just like how it smells like in the spring. And in the middle of the winter, I think it feels so comforting to have a piece of the spring to remind you of the wonderful time to come when everything is blooming and the birds are singing again. And of course, I also take vitamin D supplements, since we don't get anything from the sun in many
No
months.
sun.
Even though that would never replace the sun, I believe it can help a little
In
bit.
our case, I think it's probably a good decision.
The list of things you can do to handle the darkness is endless. These were just to mention a few. But I think that the most important thing of all is to accept and adapt to the cycles of nature. I definitely feel a big difference in the energy during summer and winter, both in nature and in myself. And that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, it's just different. I think the winter and the darkness can cause a lot of unnecessary suffering when we are trying to force ourselves to feel the same as we do in the summer.
She's right.
It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel lack of inspiration. And it's okay to need more sleep and to let things slow down.
What she said is true, but it's because, if you do the exact same thing in winter that you do in summer, you're going to feel tired. You need to exercise a little bit more. You need to eat a little bit better. You need to do a little bit, go the extra step. If you don't go that extra step, this is where your energy and everything, your mind is going to be insane sometime.
When I was a kid in Thailand, it was quite cold.
Quite cold, meaning 15 degrees Celsius, okay?
It can be 8. It's 8. When it was...
8?
Maybe it's 8 or 10 years old or something, and we don't have like the water like machine to cool everything or to make everything hot, right? And then we just boil the water with the charcoal. We put it in the pot, and I need to like exercise or make myself like sweat before shower. That way it's gonna help me not to be like really cold, things like that.
A flower would never force itself to bloom in the cold winter. So why would we? This way of thinking changed my way of dealing with the different seasons. I love the winters just as much as I love the summers. They both have their own benefits and challenges. And I think it gets much easier when we let go and accept what we feel instead of fighting it, and accept the cycles in nature and the cycles in ourselves and learn to live with it, like a dance. So this is how it is to live with the light and the darkness in the north of Sweden, from my perspective. The extreme contrasts in light also creates a bigger contrast to the seasons, and they all have their own beauty. I love the constantly changing seasons, and that you can see and feel how the light changes a little bit for every single day that goes by. The beautiful balance of light and darkness is my greatest source of inspiration, and it makes every day feel new and different.
It's a lot. But there's a lot of coconut tree. Probably 100 of them. A lot. They said this one is avocado.
Oh.
Tamarind. Like some animal building it.
Oh.
I don't know what is it. A lot. Lamb. It's falling. It's ready to collect.
Yeah.
Broken. Mango, but don't have the fruit yet. Only tree. It's avocado again. Avocado. I think this is avocado. Aloe vera. Flower. Okay. Bye bye.